Again, my name is George. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit the thumbs up button for me and drop your comments. And especially if you're watching this later on, definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything Knicks. I mean, it's so late in the year. I mean, is a coaching change now something that maybe really should be considered? Let's discuss it in this way. What if no change is made? Mitch comes back, and everyone stays healthy. The Knicks finish third, and that means, and then they take care of business against whoever they face in the first round. And now they face the Boston Celtics in the second round. The Celtics definitely right now look like an unbeatable team for the New York Knicks. I don't look at the Cavs that way. Like I still see the Cavs. I still see vulnerability in the Cavs, and especially with Mitch coming back. So I would rather face them in the second round. But put that aside. Let's look at the situation currently, what it is right now. Situation is Knicks would face the Celtics in the second round. Right now, I think we'd be lucky to win 2 games off of them. At this point, we'd be lucky to win 1 game off of them. But let's say we win 2 games and we're sent home in that second round. You didn't go as far this season as you did last season. Meanwhile, you went all in with these players. That is not a good result. That's embarrassing right there, honestly, to some extent. And you would have to, look at the coach. You brought these players in, and your coach should be able to maximize that talent to improve upon the results of the previous year. Well, he didn't. So that is so then now you got to let him go, and you got to look for a coach in the offseason and see if you can put together a roster that and find a coach that can figure out how to maximize the talent on your roster to get to a championship level. Well, you could also make that move now. You could make that move now. And it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. But the answer to the big question, should the Knicks move on from Tom Thibodeau as their head coach? I think the answer is yes. Look what happened in Detroit. Ironically, it's with Bickerstaff, who was let go from the Cavs, and the Cavs brought in Kenny Atkinson, and look where they're at right now. And look at the Detroit Pistons. Look at them now. They're in the playoffs. Teams can respond to new voices, and it's possible that this is what might have to happen here. Now, who would that be? It's hard to say. I wouldn't even know right now who I would look to. Some people might say Mark Jackson and stuff, but I don't think that's the answer right now. We need someone who will understand the situation of the current modern NBA, especially from a defensive standpoint. Now, I can easily make the argument, no. Thibs is a defensive mastermind. He will eventually figure this out. He's got Mitch Robinson coming back. Well, that's a lot of ifs. Jay Wright, yeah, I like that. Van Gundy. That would be an interesting one. Would the Clippers let Jeff out of his contract right now? That's an interesting one. I didn't even want to think about JVG at that point, but I would like it, honestly. I would like it. It is time for a coaching change. I think now is time for it. I mean, I'm actually now, as I'm talking more and more, I'm convinced that that's the best move at the moment. Because the question becomes this. Here's what it comes down to. This is the question. Do you believe that Tom Thibodeau, this head coach, even with a healthy Mitch, and you add another piece like a TJ Warren, do you believe that that coach could get this team past the Celtics or the Cavs, or at least compete with them? Do you believe that? if all goes right, do you believe that this coach could do it after an 0-7 against the elite teams? At this point, my belief level in that is near zero. Near zero. So, do I believe that making a shrewd coaching change today could reinvigorate this roster into a position where they actually can compete with the Cavs and the Celtics? Do you believe that they gives you a better chance of closing the gap? I think it does. So once you weigh those two things, there's really only one choice. You make the change. Now, it's got to be the right coach. I love the idea of a Jay Wright. I just wish he had had some NBA experience by now. But Jeff Van Gundy would be a tremendous. He's done it before. He's taken over a Knicks team midway through a season and elevated their play. Interesting. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I appreciate you guys joining me here. I'm going to eat a late lunch. Going to watch this Warriors-Mavericks game, or the rest of it, whatever's still going on. I don't even know what's happening. Going to put more thoughts into how this Knicks team can improve, because I have a hard time accepting that this roster is basically a minus 25 point roster to the Cavs, Celtics, and OKC, no matter what you do. I have a hard time believing that, especially with the way that this team dominates the rest of the NBA. Make no mistake about it right now. The Knicks are the fourth best team in the NBA, and they cannot even come close to beating the three teams above them. That is a coaching issue. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me, and drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings about everything I've spoken about here today, and whatever other thoughts you may have about the Knicks. I still believe this team is going to give us some thrills, and I love the team that's been assembled. I just wish that, man, they just showed more fight against these elite teams, especially early on. You know, getting down by 19 points, being doubled up in the first quarter, just ain't going to cut it. Okay, I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's make that coaching change.